Join me in my kitchen today as we make some yummy holiday treats perfect for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I am so looking forward to this cozy season ahead, so I hope that this video gives you some new recipe ideas. We're making cookies, iced coffee creamer, cranberry brie bites, and easy sea salt caramels. I hope that this feels like hanging out with a friend in the kitchen over coffee. I'm so glad you're here. Hi friends, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making some holiday treats together. I have a shortbread cookie recipe as well as cranberry brie bites in the air fryer. Every year I make these microwave caramels that are really easy and simple but taste delicious. So that'll be a fun treat you can hand out to friends and family. And then we're also going to make a coffee creamer that is perfect this time of year. If you like the Little Debbie's Christmas tree cakes, then you're gonna love this creamer. It can also be made into a cold foam. For the cranberry brie bites, I'm pulling out my new air fryer. This is the Ninja Crispy, and I'm so excited to be partnering with QVC for today's video and show you guys how I use the Ninja Crispy. So we're gonna make cranberry brie bites. The Ninja Crispy 4-in-1 portable cooking system comes with 2 different containers that you can cook your food in, and it also has lids for making it easy to store or take your food with you. The Power Pod comes with 4 different buttons to re-crisp, bake, air fry, or max crisp your food. Be sure to check out my link in my description box to shop all of Ninja products on QVC and others. They are my go-to shop this Christmas season. From home, beauty, to electronics, QVC has something for everyone. For this recipe, you're going to need some puff pastry, some brie, and then whatever type of cranberry sauce or jam that you would like. Today I'm doing a cranberry sauce that has whole cranberries in it, as well as a fig jam. And then I also have 1 egg that I'm going to use as a wash before I put them in the air fryer. So I'm just using about a half a sheet of puff pastry and a little less than half of the brie. And I cut them into sections of 9 and then put a little piece of brie in the middle of each square, and then I'm going to put a dollop of cranberry sauce or fig jam on top of the brie, and then you just fold the corners, put the egg wash on, and then we're going to air fry them at 350 degrees for about 6 to 7 minutes. Mainly you just want to melt the brie, get the jam and the sauce a little caramelized, and it turns out so good. This could not be easier. This is such a great option for a appetizer or even on a charcuterie board. This would be a great addition to that as well. I did these in batches and they turned out so good. If you love brie, you will love these. They're light, they're refreshing, and you can make endless possibilities with them as far as the toppings. For this next recipe, we're making shortbread cookies, and I have never found a shortbread cookie recipe that I love. They're not usually a sweet cookie, and a lot of times they're really crummy. However, this recipe is perfect. It's the perfect cookie for someone who doesn't love a super sweet cookie but loves a sweet treat still. So just something different to switch it up, and it is so easy. It only takes 4 ingredients. It calls for a lot of butter, powdered sugar, cornstarch, and flour, and you just mix these up. I will have the recipe linked down below from the original source, but you just mix it up, and you can either roll it out and cut them into shapes with cookie cutters, or you can just scoop them out if you want to save a little bit on time. So that's what I opted for today. And then you put them in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and then you bake them for about 20 minutes, and that's it. They could not be more easy, and they melt in your mouth. This next recipe is for sea salt caramels, and the best part about this recipe is that you make them in the microwave. They only take about 6 minutes in the microwave, and they turn out amazing every single time. So this recipe calls for a half a cup of butter, so 1 stick of butter. Melt that first for about a minute in the microwave, and then you will add to that mixture a half a cup of light corn syrup, a half a cup of sugar, a half a cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of sweetened condensed milk. You're going to cook that in the microwave for about 6 to 6.5 minutes until it's nice and bubbly. You can pull it out and do the ice cube test. Just put a little drop into some ice water. If it forms a ball, it's good to go. If it's not, then do it for another 30 seconds. Then once it's all cooked, you're going to add the 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. You can also use vanilla extract if that's all you have. And you're going to mix that up and pour into a 8x8 pan with parchment paper. And then you're going to stick it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Then pull it out and add some flaky salt on top, and then put it back in the freezer until it's solid. This next recipe is hardly a recipe, but I found this on an Instagram reel and I wanted to try it out. So basically you take fresh cranberries and soak them in either Sprite and orange juice, or I did a cranberry poppy and I let them sit overnight in that. Then I drained it and tossed them in some powdered sugar, baked them for about 5 minutes at 200 degrees. Tried them out. They were the perfect sweet sour treat. The next day now, we went over to my grandma and grandpa's last night and had dinner with them and celebrated my grandpa's 76th birthday. So that was a lot of fun, getting to see family and just hang out. And I did add to his gift some of those little caramels. Thing I did do though, whenever I was wrapping them up, I have these pre-cut little pieces of parchment paper, and they have a little Christmas print on them. Here's what they look like. I think they're so cute. So I will wrap my caramels up in these, but before I wrap them I will spray just a little bit of olive oil onto the wrapper itself, and then I'll put the more sticky side of the caramels on here. That way the caramels don't stick to the wrapper at all. I printed out this recipe. I'm gonna cut it out of this paper, but I got a printer this year. I don't know how I've not had one for so long, but it's been so nice for things like this to print out and physically have, and then I can put it into my cookbook instead of constantly like looking through Pinterest or pulling up on my phone and having to like re-pull it up constantly. So yeah, I just made a little graphic for this, but like I said, this one was from an Instagram reel, so I'll link her reel down below, that way she gets credit for it. For this recipe, you need 1.5 cups of your milk of choice, then 1 cup and 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1.5 tablespoons of McCormick cake batter extract, and then 1/2 cup of any kind of white chocolate sauce. I found a Ghirardelli one. You just put it all into a jar and shake it up. It couldn't be easier. There's a few things I always do when I make coffee at home. So with my espresso machine, I just pulled 2 shots of espresso and I'm gonna add some salt to it. And this just cuts down on that bitter taste. I feel like it makes it taste a little more smooth. I'm gonna froth that. That way it's kind of like a shaken espresso. Then I already had a hot coffee this morning, so I think I'm gonna do coffee. I'm gonna pull out my Christmas tree cup. I feel like that's fitting for our Christmas tree creamer. I'm gonna fill this up with some ice, and I like my iced coffees with oat milk, so I'm gonna put a little bit of that in as well. And I don't know if I want to use this as a cold foam or a creamer. I think I'm gonna try maybe a little bit of both. All right, now let's add some of this creamer. I don't know how sweet it's gonna be, so I added probably like a tablespoon, and now I'm gonna add my espresso on top of that. Usually I can tell by the color of the coffee if I got the ratios right. It's looking a little dark. Okay, it's good. It's very strong though. I think I need definitely a little more creamer. Really good. I don't think I'm gonna make any cold foam. One, because I kind of ran out of room. This is delicious. So good. The only thing I had to buy was the cake batter extract, which I thought might be hard to find, but I was able to find it like really easy. I also didn't have the white sauce, so I grabbed both of those, and I feel like it's gonna make a ton of this creamer. So it's a fun way to switch up your drink at home, especially if you're not buying coffee out as much. And if you don't have an espresso machine, I feel like you could still just use regular coffee and use this as a creamer. I'm gonna pour some into some smaller jars and take them to my mom and sister-in-law tonight. Last but not least, I have to finish cutting up this caramel, which this doesn't look like a lot, but it actually takes a little bit of time to unwrap, to cut everything, wrap them up, and then put them in these little boxes. So let's go ahead and get this done. I'm gonna put on a Christmas YouTube video. Let me know, who have you been loving to watch lately? I always forget how to put these little boxes together. We are so excited for Thanksgiving this week. We have family coming in that we only see once a year, so this is a super special week, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. This week we're also putting together our own family like turkey trot 5K. We have a lot of runners in our family, especially on Taylor's side of the family. So a lot of the kids, they all ran cross country and track, some even in college, some are still in like junior high and high school, but they're all really good runners. And they have put together a little 5K, and Brooks is going to be in it, and Taylor. You guys know I've been walking on my treadmill, and I've been trying to do 2 miles a day, and the last couple weeks have been so busy, and some mornings I have not been getting up, but that's okay. I'm still sticking with getting in as much walking as I can. I think one of my sister-in-laws is going to walk, so I might just end up walking with her. But I think it's so fun. We've got shirts that we're making, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Our nieces stay with us this week, a few nights, and one of my nieces just got married this past summer, so we get to host her and her husband. So it's gonna be so much fun. We're so excited. Lots of food this week. I've been texting with my mother-in-law on what night are we making this? What night are we doing this? Because since we do have out-of-town family in, we are pretty much together that entire week of Thanksgiving, and it's so much fun. So let me know what your Thanksgiving plans are. If you have any traditions, let me know what your Thanksgiving plans are. Are you hosting? Are you, do you have some things planned? Whatever you're doing, I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, your loved ones. I pray that you all feel loved. I'm so thankful for all of you and for continuously showing up on my channel and supporting me all of these years. I've been doing YouTube now for, it's about 7.5 years. So that's kind of crazy. There's been a lot of changes with YouTube and just how it works, and I've changed as a creator. When I first started, I kind of just did anything I was interested in. I did cleaning videos for a while. I've just shared what I've been up to in my home, and luckily you guys have just continuously poured out love on my channel, and I'm so thankful for you guys. So I hope that you have a blessed day. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off of today's video. We have another Thanksgiving dinner tonight that we're about to head out to. So love you guys, and I'll see you all soon in my next one. Bye, friends.
Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories.